Hi, good evening and welcome. Welcome to our Relab 101 webinar.
Hi guys, I'm Lou. I'm the CMO of Relab, and I'm based down here in Dunedin in my really nice warm office in our great big villa. So I'll be talking with Knight tonight about some ways Relab can help you work a little bit faster and a little bit smarter in your real estate business, and how you can serve your clients better using Relab property data and insights. This is Knight Howe. Knight's our CEO and co-founder. He's based up in the Ice House in Auckland. So let's just launch straight into it. So Knight, I was a real estate agent for a really short time down in Queenstown, but I did experience quite a few pain points of having to go through multiple different systems. When you're trying to access things like stormwater, wastewater, boundary lines, you need all that sort of map information and title information and things like that. How easy is it to do that in Relab? Perhaps you could show us the advanced mapping. Let's start with the advanced mapping and see how we go. Hi everybody, nice to see you.
That's a really good point, Lou. Okay, just give me 1 second so I can start sharing my screen, and let's go straight into it, which is our first feature. Okay, hopefully you guys can see my screen now. Hey Lou, can you give me a thumb up if you can see my screen share?
I can, thanks.
Okay, fantastic. So this is Relabs, a landing page. So the first thing we can do here is I've already logged in. So the first thing, if you're new to Relab, it's very easy to sign up for an account. So right now I'm logged in. So it's step number 1. Step number 2 is let's type in address, right? So I've got a couple of addresses here saved. I've now entered number 2, Laser Place, Bayview, which is a suburb here in Auckland. Now, Lou, you're talking about advanced mapping. We call it advanced mapping for a reason, because Relab is providing the go-to place for our real estate professionals, our agents community, to get all the information they need. Now, you're mentioning about accessing to stormwater and infrastructure information. You can easily find that by go to the map, right? Type in your address and just turn on this services and floods. So that's the first map overlay that we have on this map here. As you can see, once you turn it on, you will see quite a few lines going on the page. And again, if you're a first-time user of Relab, don't panic. We will walk you through what they are. The green lines here are stormwater access. So not only can you see where the stormwater pipes are, you can also see, here it says 225 concrete. You can tell what's the material and the make and the size of the stormwater, and you can see there's a pipe and a manhole here. The red line represents wastewater, because as we know, stormwater and wastewater are the critical considerations when we're doing a site due diligence. At any time, if you are lost with what legend or what keys means on this map, you can simply click. There's a little eye or information icon on the bottom of the page. If we click on that, you'll see a list of legend, and this is what they are. Any questions, Lou?
Oh, I'm just responding to a couple of people that can't hear. Can somebody that can hear just let me know in the channel? Yep, other people can hear. Yep, okay, great.
Fantastic. Yep. Cool. Shall we keep going then?
Yes, please.
Right. The other really nice and neat feature about the map is you can change the map layers. So quite often, you want to see a nice and clean satellite map that gives you a high-res version of the property, and here it is. And by turning on and off different map layers, you can see more and more information. Right. So in this instance, I'm turning on and off the services and flood layer. We can keep going. The next layer I want to show everyone is plan or unitary plan. So let's turn it on and see what happens. There we go. So by turning on this layer, you can see the subject property and the type of zoning or Auckland Unitary Plan zoning that they fall under. So if we zoom out a wee bit, you will be able to see not only the subject site's zoning, but also the surrounding area. So we can see the site is surrounded by suburban zoning. And if we move further down, there are a bit of single house zoning down here. And if we zoom out further, you will be able to see urban zoning or business and neighborhood zoning, etc. So this is the second layer of the map, which shows Auckland Unitary Plan. Very handy, especially given that here in Auckland, we had the big Unitary Plan change, the end of 2016, I think it is, and it's really added on quite a few different layers of complexity or opportunities for our real estate agents community and their customers. Okay. Now, some of you might be asking, hey, what are the alternatives out there that provides you a nice overlay with the Unitary Plan and satellite map? And I think the answer is there are no software out there that's quite the same that does provide the level of information that we provide all in one place. Okay, let's go to the next map layer, which says recent consents. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, so by turning on consents button, we see a few different addresses that pop up here. If we click on one of them, that says one building or resource consent. So this is a very unique feature that Relab is offering to our real estate agent community that help them to let to be more informed in terms of what's happening in their neighborhood. The site here has also got this little consent icon. I can turn it off and on again to show everyone. Cool. And once we are inside this property, you can see this address has got 5 building resource consents approved, and we can click on view details. We actually have a list of all the recent resource and building consents that's approved for this address. And you can have a read, right? This one says it's a building consent and there are going to be 7 new terrace houses, each with 2 bedrooms, and et cetera, et cetera. So basically, with this feature, you will really be in the driver's seat in terms of what's going on in the area. You then becomes more informative, that you can help your client, whether it's vendor or buyer, with their needs. And again, yep.
And note that you can click on any of those little yellow icons, can't you? And it'll open up that next one. Or you can zoom in to see what's like right next to you on your boundary. And it's particularly useful for sort of the more high density sort of area where there's a lot of building going on, especially like apartments and that types of thing. Perhaps downtown, I've noticed in Auckland Central, there's a huge amount of resource and building consents going on down there at the moment.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right there, Lou. And the magic really happens when you, after using our very powerful mapping feature for a wee while, and you can actually do different combinations. See here, I'm turning on Unitary Plan icon layer and recent consent layer. So you can see that the type of consent that's happening in the area and what zoning it is happening to, right? So if I zoom out a wee bit, you will see the different consents in this sort of yellow or beige color suburban zoning, but also there are consents happening in the urban area and business and neighborhood center area as well. So I think, we have a lot of really good feedback from our users saying that this has given them the level of visibility, especially into the future, right? That no other software is currently offering them. Okay.
So just got a question there, Knight. How often does this information get updated? Daily, weekly, monthly?
Okay, good question, and thank you. So if we're talking about the specific building and resource consent information, it is updating on a weekly basis.
Yes, they're talking about building consents.
Okay, yeah, it's weekly.
Super. Do you want to just go back out to a specific address, Knight, and just talk a little bit about the side panel, about everything that's available in terms of property data and the ability to order titles and things like that. on that right-hand sidebar, and exactly sort of what we've got there. I know we are going to touch on a couple of those more popular features as we go through, but perhaps you could just do a little bit of a scroll and just explain a few things that are going on there.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do that. So on the right-hand side, this is what we call property details panel. Basically, it gives us exactly that, property details. The first big section is, as we already touched on, are the building consent, where they exist, right? And if we keep moving down, we have title records, shows the legal ownership, shows the title details, the type of zoning it is, how big is the land area, certificate of title, and very importantly, the zoning information. You can order titles through us anytime. During your process of helping a customer, you go click order title, and then we'll take you to the payment page. And once you've entered your credit card number, boom, it's all done. Very nice and very simple and easy to use. Just to let everyone on the webinar know that we're going to be dropping our title price from the current price to $6 per title document in the coming weeks, to make it even more affordable and more accessible for anyone who needs them. And during work hours, so that's Monday to Friday, sort of working hours, once you order a title through us, you will get it delivered into your inbox straight away, so that there's no hassle of having to ask the office admin or your solicitor to get that for you. You can actually get it done yourself.
Yeah, that was just a question from Gary there. How long does it take? Outside of those normal business hours, Gary, there is a slight delay, and it will be at the next available opportunity when that office is open.
Absolutely. So basically, and that constraint is because of Lens, where we get the data from, Land Information New Zealand. On weekends, their system shut down, so there's nothing we can do about it. But as their system's up and running, we will get that information to you as within minutes, literally. Okay, why don't we keep moving, Lou? The next part here, we show overlay, control, and designations. Again, these are technical terms from the Auckland Unitary Plan, which we are working on a new product. It's coming hopefully over the next few weeks, that will be able to give everyone a much more detailed breakdown of the Unitary Plan Bible. I call it Bible because there's a lot in it. So watch the space, team. Next one here is current title records. And there's a button here that says all title records. So it's part of your listing process or prospecting. You have to do due diligence as part of the job. And we are making that job that much easier because by clicking on all title records, you can actually see everything and anything that's related to this particular title or title interest, and all of them are up to date. So if you want to order the title, you can go ahead and order one straight away, but you just want to have a quick look and to make sure there are no caveat or land covenants or encumbrance or any other legal instrument that might affect your sale or your customer. You can click on all title records and do a really high level check straight away.
Let's skip the subdivision calculator. We'll get to that in a minute. Why don't we just have a quick look at just a couple of the other quick ones down that side, and then let's move on to the advanced search feature.
Fantastic. So we also have all the sales information here for everyone's record, so you can go back and look at when it was last sold. There's CV data, rental valuation, property summary, that shows all the information that council that has on the property, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the roof, the build, etc., whether it has a view, what sort of parking it has. And at the bottom of the information panel, we have all the school zoning information, which can be very handy, especially if your client are young parents looking for a school for their kids. You can actually click on the school and see more details of the school's academic history, say, for example. And the last bit of this information panel are our demographics information. Again, you can find it on census data. We have collected all of these from Stats New Zealand and made it into easy to read charts for you.
on 1 to 7 units to be built for 2 laser place, please.
Sorry, come again, Lou. The question was?
Is there a rental appraisal available? Now, rental appraisals...
Not at the moment.
Not yet.
Yeah, but it is in our active product pipeline, and hopefully we'll have some good news on that front for you guys soon.
Fantastic. Hey, let's move on to another really cool feature. So given the current climate at the moment, and there's a lot of development going on, we've taken it upon ourselves to really help people when they're looking at a particular site or an opportunity, and wondering whether it's subdivisible, wondering what the general back of the napkin finances might look like, or the return on investment will look like. Shall we jump in and have a look at the subdivision feasibility calculator?
Absolutely.
Cool, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So if I may, if I can take everyone back to the old address that we're looking at before, because it's there. So on a high level look, right, we can see there's services connected to the address. It's away from any flooding zone, right? Any flooding zone are highlighted in blue there. Cool. So it looks like it could be a good candidate for a development. And you will be able to find the subdivision calculator tool on the right-hand side of the property details panel. So let's click on it and see what happens. So it shows up the address, the type of zoning, and it detects whether stormwater or wastewater would be within the boundary or not, shows up the land size, and it works out a potential number of subdivisions, 7. Now, this is a really, really rough estimate, right? But basically, it's, we've built the algorithm so that the Relab knows for this type of zoning, mixed suburban, for that land size, if you go after a terrace house design, you'll be able to get, in theory, 7 lots. Of course, there are lots of other factors you have to consider take into consideration, but the purpose of this calculator is just a back of napkin envelope for you to quickly help your client establish whether this project would be feasible. Now, there are 3 key steps in using this calculator. The first one is we choose your development options, right? 2 stories, number of lots, currently says 5, but I can change it to 6 or 7. And you can change your floor areas. So one of the key things to note, guys, is most of the input figures in this calculator are customizable. You can change it to appropriate number that you think makes sense. That's based on your either experience or your expert's advice. So now in this case, we've chosen it's a 2-story design, 6 lots. Let's keep going. Second part of using this subdivision calculator involves a cost estimation. So we have a land acquisition cost here, and then we put in your per lot subdivision cost, per square meter construction cost. So you might go in the current environment, let's bump it up to a bit higher, right, to allow for any contingencies. And then we have marketing and sales expense. In this case, is just a flat 3% on the total value of the sale. And the third bit, here land acquisition, you might go, in the current heating market, let's bump it up a bit to 1.24 mil, just as an example. So instantly, the calculator has worked out the total project cost, including land acquisition, subdivision, building, and sales marketing. Cool. Now, step number 3 is based on the calculation above. This calculator has already worked out an estimated profitability for a potential development, and that's by your overall estimated sales figure, take away your overall project cost, and here we go. Your expected gross profit 1.04 mil, and your ROC, return on cost, is 22.99 mil. Now, at any given time, we can go back and review these numbers and change it, say, instead of 1.24, to 1.14.
So it's just a quick question there from Grant. Does this calculator take into consideration the land contour?
Hi, Grant. That's a really, really good question. At the current stage, we're calling our calculator a beta version. No, it doesn't. So that's would require a lot of, I guess, user experience if say the contour is quite steep, and in actual fact you can only get, say, 3 lots, right, instead of 6, and then because you're building less lots, you can increase your land area and lot size to a bit bigger, and as a result your estimated sales price per unit will be a bit higher as well. So to answer your question, no, currently it doesn't, but we're actively looking for the next iteration of this calculator. Hopefully one day we can bring a 3D version of this calculator to our users to make their calculation a lot more simpler. But currently it doesn't take into consideration contour or say flooding zones, and that's all would require user adjusting the figures accordingly and having a few goes at this subdivision calculator.
Fantastic. So we've got about 10 minutes to go.
Okay.
So do you, shall we jump into, have a quick look at advanced search insights? I know when particularly real estate agents are prospecting for new clients, or they've got a specific property that they're looking for in a specific area with the bedroom numbers and things like that. Sometimes it's really hard, I know from experience, when you're doing that sort of prospecting, that you may create a list, or you may have to do a fire drop across the entire area, which can be very time consuming and not particularly environmentally friendly. So maybe let's just take everyone through just for the next 5 minutes. Can't hear again. Oh, okay, I'll just deal with that in a second, Gary. How our advanced search insights can maybe help real estate agents with their prospecting.
Absolutely. So advanced search insights is one of the key features that Relab provides to our real estate agent customers. And you can find it by just scrolling down a little bit. You'll find it here. So let's go in there and have a look. Let's use a scenario where, say, you have a client who's looking for a development site, say in Milford. We can type in the address, Milford, and instantly you see 8 different addresses here, and they're current listings because we've selected active listings only. But if we unselect that, that sort of brings up all the 2,400 different addresses in Milford for us. Now, in that scenario, different customer different requirements, and let's go that they're looking for freehold only. They're looking for mixed suburban and mixed urban zoning, and let's give it quite a broad CV range, say 2.3.5, make it really, really wide. And this number here is LV ratio, or the ratio of the land as part of the entire CV. So CV, any CV is made up of land value, LV, plus IV, or improvement value. So the higher this number is, the larger the land represents in the overall CV. So we change to 75. And then let's go with minimum land size of 600 squares. And we go search. Okay. So in this search result, that has returned 338. So that's already filtered through the 2,000 plus addresses we have. And then on the top or just below the search bar, we can go, let's exclude flat zones and exclude any sort of slopey land and only show us the ones with wastewater connection. Right, we're down to 8. So basically, this is an incredibly powerful and incredibly useful tool to help you with the productivity of your prospecting process. So instead of just doing door drops to, say, 500 addresses, you can actually have a more personalized or more targeted approach to your prospecting. And then say we can go active listings only. Okay, are there any current listings that fits this criteria? No. In that, and then you can go back to this shortlist and start doing a due diligence on each one of them. Say I will just click on this one and go through the map process, right? Check it out on the very powerful and very detailed map we have here. So this site has got both the wastewater and stormwater. There is another neat feature here that gives us a Google Street View. So again, without stepping out of the comfort of your home, you can do a lot of this work very efficiently using Relab. The other tool that I haven't touched on, that I think is really cool, is this little button here that says measure. So we can literally create a digital measurement. Let's say if you want to measure the distance between from the road frontage to the wastewater. Boom, click, click, or tap, tap. If you're using a mobile, it will give you the linear distance. Or if I cancel that, or if we want to draw out a new floor plan, you can go boom, boom, boom. Right, there we go. So it gives you an area footage, square footage as well. You can finish a measurement, and here is your drawing.
That's pretty cool. That's one of my favourite features. So we're just coming up to time night. Is there anything else that you particularly wanted to show people? Can we measure driveway? Yes, of course. Yes, you can measure driveway. You can measure anything. It's just a click, click, click. Very, very simple user experience to measure those things. We've got a couple of questions about are we only in Auckland? Currently, as of tonight, yes, but next week, hello Christchurch. So bear with us for that. And then we're rolling out Waikato, Wellington, Queenstown Lakes, and there's one
Dunedin,
other.
where you are.
Oh, and hello Dunedin, yeah. So we will be rolling out all the major cities really soon. Christchurch is first cab off the rank, and that is coming next week, so we're really excited about that. Can we generate a report of recent sales data comparable to latest CB for a suburb or street? That's
coming, George. We're working on a number of really exciting new products. CMA will be one of them, and getting a downloadable PDF of all the information that you currently see on Relab is another, which will include recent sales data and all the other pretty cool features you see currently on the platform.
Any more questions? No, I think that's it for now. So that's pretty much bang on time, guys. So we're just going to close with pop any other questions you've got there, or just to let you know that if you are in a branch or a business, perhaps you're not a real estate agent, perhaps you're a developer or an architect, or a property investor, and you would like a demo to your team, we're more than happy to arrange for one of myself or Knight or one of our sales agents to come out and give your branch or your office a demo. We can also do that virtually, obviously. You can also start yourself a 14-day free trial. Just head on into relab.co.nz and click the nice bright pink button there and start yourself a free trial. There's no credit card or anything to be put in there. It's totally free, and you'll get a series of emails to help you through there. We've got a YouTube channel where you can go and have a look at some more of these things in depth, and that's just Relab Property. So you can go in there and have a look at the lots of different walkthroughs and introductions to lots of different cool features that we've got. Yeah, I think that's probably it, Knight.
Absolutely. And lastly, thank you for your time. If you have any questions for me or Lou, you can email us. Our email address is either Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T, or Lou at relab.co.nz. Simple.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Knight. See you guys.
Thanks. Have a good evening.